Good stuff, Barry. I love where this is going. I got to say, just to tag on to what you're saying, I've been studying a new author here. We've talked about
Oh,
several authors,
yeah.
and especially when it comes to just business. And this guy's name is Mike Weinberg. Have you heard of Mike Weinberg yet?
I don't think so.
So he's got a book out called New Sales Simplified, and this is really all about getting new sales, and this is something we all need. Highly
Yep.
recommend this book. Mike Weinberg, he's a great writer. First off, you can get through his stuff, and it's interesting. A lot of sales books are kind of boring, and some of them are highly technical. But this is a person that he's got a podcast out there. So if you get a chance to check him out, and you're looking to improve your sales process and just get some good tips on cold calling and different ways to do this that make a lot of logical sense, then you want to get this book. But I've been focusing on one of his chapters called Sharpening the Sales Story. And what he's talking about is a power statement, and he has this whole thing. You've heard of an elevator pitch? It's
Sure.
what you say to somebody on, what do you do, and they're on the elevator, and you've got this 30-second pitch. Well, he hates that.
Mhm.
And he says that look, there's very little selling going on in the elevator. What you really need is a power statement that you can draw from.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting how he puts this together. So I actually have been working on a power statement for my own business within Spoke, and I've actually put together a statement. I've got the rough draft of it. It's actually taken me a little time, about 2 weeks, to put this together. But now that I have the rough draft put together, it is extremely powerful. I feel very empowered and confident that I have something very concise out here. And here's the main premise, Barry, and I think this is really important, is that he talks about how salespeople come in to talk, and they're going to present to you and tell you everything about their company and what they know about the company, how great the product is, and this and that and the other. And the customer is out there, or prospect is out there thinking, so what?
Yep.
And so what he has done with this power statement is change the dynamics so that he's got a sort of 4 different steps here that he looks at. I'm looking at my other computer here with this information.
Mm-hmm.
So he starts out with a headline about your company, with a very brief statement about who you are and what type of clientele personnel that you're looking for.
Identify the target audience.
In my case, it would be, healthcare leaders, clinicians, physicians, and then a transitional statement that says people turn to my company when they, and then you have your
value proposition,
client issues addressed. It's very important, the steps. So you're going to go to client issues addressed, and this is these are the things that your clients are naturally thinking about. These are the things that they're dealing with on an everyday basis. When they're frustrated that they're not able to get the service that they're looking for in time, that they're desperate to have a marketing person that's not going to lead them into depression, or these types of things. So that gets their attention. Then you talk about your offerings. This is what we do. We handle this. We handle that. I do it with this and that. And then your differentiators. We dominate the market because we do X, Y, and Z better than anybody else. Nobody else can do this. And it's very important that you keep that format of the client issues addressed, then your offerings, then your differentiators. And what that does is it has this effect that I just talked about. It gives you confidence, but it's a powerful, these are outcome driven messages that get your target contact's attention. And what it does is it changes the whole dynamic of your relationship to focus on the real value of what you're offering right away. It opens up the thinking of that person and lets down the defensiveness, because now they understand that you have something that can really help them with what their challenges are on a daily basis. Once you have that power statement, you can use that in so many different ways, from cold calling to emails to presentations, and you can mix that into just even an elevator conversation, going up the elevator. But highly recommend taking a look at this one. It's Mike Weinberg. It's New Sales Simplified, and the chapter is Sharpening the Sales Story.
Oh, that sounds really good. Now, it's really interesting that he just taught you how to write marketing copy, but use it as a sales pitch. That's exactly what that is. When you talked about starting off with, and I like this a lot, starting off with recognizing most customers you just hit your microphone with it. It was really loud.
And I almost spilled coffee all over myself.
I wish you would have.
I would have been so angry. My Harley shirt.
This is our first episode of season 4. It would have been a great way. Great way to start off with a highlight.
We would have jinxed our season right there.
That's funny.
Hey, my computer fell down.
Now, as a marketer, when I'm trying to get testimonials from people, what I'm asking them is, what was your biggest stumbling block before you finally said yes? Was it proximity? Was I too far away? Was I this, that, or the other? And how did we overcome that? And that's what he's got you leading with. Is
right.
Most customer.
That's exactly right.
So you're speaking right to your basic customer.
You're speaking to their needs right away, rather than how great you are. You're speaking to what they're dealing with. And it's such a more, it's such a more effective way to go. And it's something you can feel very confident about when you talk to people, because now you're them focused and in what they're dealing with. And boy, does that ever open up the conversation. And this goes back to what we were what was the author's name? Chris Voss. And,
that was good
just
stuff.
The stuff that we were talking about. I've been using that ever since, where, it seems like this is a very effective way to market to your customers, Barry. And then, and when you use these tactics, it really focuses on the customer or the client, or
gets you out of your head
relationship, right,
and out there into their field,
right. And really, it's so funny, because all of this stuff leads to prosperity when it comes to selling, but really as a way of life, and focusing on not yourself and on other people leads to so many other benefits in life. It's just the way to go.
Right.